This, you know what? Do you know what? Candiace, there are some very simple things that you need to get a hold of, and it would make your life so much easier. It really would. Because right now, sis, you look bad. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, episode 14. Candiace is out here in these streets looking crazy. You look crazy. There's, first of all, you're on 10. You've got to be exhausted. You have to be completely exhausted. You are on 10, and it literally showed up for me in this episode that you are really wrapped in what happened last year. And I listen, I'm jumping on you. I'm beating you up a little bit, but I understand. I am a Capricorn. Total Capricorn. I definitely do have an issue with holding grudges. I do. Baby, I don't forgive well. It's just one of the things that I just don't forgive well. But you are really like, you are angry. I'm like angry, angry. And it's a lot of stuff that basically is really unresolved from last year. But guess what, babe? It ain't going to get resolved. Monique ain't even on the show no more. She's not even on the show anymore. So you'll never get to argue it out or fight it out with her again. And okay, you don't like Ashley, you don't appreciate what went on, but you said that you was moving on. She said she was moving on. Y'all both are still hanging on to it, and y'all take little digs at each other. But Candiace, with you literally, I think in your core, you're still mad with the whole damn group. And you roundhouse kicking and swinging. Mia wasn't even there. Mia wasn't even there. And it got so bad in this episode with Mia to the point where, like, okay, Mia did do one little thing wrong. You know, the little what she did with your mom and that was wrong. It was out of order. But you are on her like she banged your head on the table. That was Monique. That was Monique that gave you the... That was Monique. It wasn't Mia. You on her heavy. Disrespectful. And I mean, it's really your mouth. Oh my God. Like, girl, like, do you want to be punched in the mouth again? Do you want to be hit all upside your head again? Do you want your wig snatched from the back to the front again? Like, I mean, you're just saying any old thing and just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. And I'm not even a big Mia fan. Like, I'm not a big Mia fan. But does she deserve all of this? No. 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 I mean, throwing food and girl plays. Anyway, I'm going to start right here. Mia, I'm going to need you to sit down and shut up too. Because all this about your mother, if my mother relapses, then she's going to have to see me outside. I'm going to need you to shut up with that, because that's foolishness. And let me tell you something. If seeing a videotape of Candiace, who your mother doesn't know, from a can of black paint, calling her low budget, makes her relapse, then she was never rehabilitated in the first place. Do you understand? Seeing one woman that she doesn't even know saying that she basically ain't shit. If that makes her relapse, she was never rehabilitated in the first place. So I want you to go sit down with that. That's just foolishness. It's foolishness. Just say she hurt your feelings. It hurt your feelings. It was meant to hurt your feelings. I get it. It was meant to hurt your feelings. But now, That sounds crazy to me. Totally crazy. Um, and then this whole thing, like you went right out of that into this. I make $450,000 a year, and this, that thing, and the other. And Escala and them asked you, girl, could you just like, all of that brings up the argument. Can we just kind of keep it off of money and business? Basically, you're throwing shade, and that's all they're asking is if you stop throwing shade, then maybe she'll stop attacking, and then we can all have a good time. So actually, it does have to be a group effort. If y'all want to have a good time, you both have to want to have a good time. If you all want to fight, then keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Chris took Candiace outside and basically kind of calmed her down and got her together. Karen took Mia to the side, calmed her down and got her together. Was like, girl, are you kidding? Why are you letting her get you all in your feelings? She don't know you, and all that. Child G is just drunk. G, somebody said this in the comments over the week, that G is just like a black version of Michael. And I'll be damned if he ain't. G really, like, it got to a point where G is that drunk ass friend that embarrasses the whole group. You're embarrassed for G because G ain't got enough sense to be embarrassed for G. He was doing, and then he's very sexual. He's very, and that, okay, but it's over the top. Everybody here, G, is married. Everybody here is married. There's not one single person in the bunch, except for Giselle, who wasn't even actually there yet. And then, when the fact of the matter is, you're married. And whoever, Giselle's the one that ain't married, but she is friends with your wife. Know what that means? You don't do dick jokes with her. You don't lick your tongue out. Like you keep licking your tongue out at Karen. And I can really vouch for, I don't think that you want to lick Karen. Like, why would you want to lick Karen? You got a whole wife that is literally half of Karen's age. You picked what you wanted. You looked on the pole, grabbed which one you wanted, and pulled it off the pole. I can't even imagine that you want to lick Karen. Now, your behavior says that if Karen busted open, you would lick it. But would you actually be seeking Karen in that house, that whole house? You're going to go lick Karen while Wendy's walking around? Hell, Robin. I mean, come on. You lick the basketball buddy before you lick Karen. Like, are you serious? But you just, he was giving Karen all that. Yeah, Karen. I'm like, that is out of order. Out of order. Then he goes to telling the story about how he basically would pay Mia $10,000 just to sit and have a talk with her before, when he met her down to the club. And then there go Ashley. Ashley and her nasty little self up there talking about $10,000. That's a lot of money for just talking. You don't believe it? Hell, we don't believe it either. But let them have their storyline. Let them have their storyline, hater. We don't question you when you sit and say that you love Michael. And guess what? I hate to be the one to tell you, we don't believe you either. We don't believe you either. It's all, for me, it's hashtag business plan. But I ain't pulling and talking at you about it. Psh, go sit down somewhere. Anyway, moving on. Chris ended up cleaning up the kitchen since Candiace and me and threw this salad all over the place. Chris just being Chris. Y'all know I like me some Chris. But Chris go in there, he cleaning up the salad and carrying on. And Ashley comes in and he told her, regardless of what all's going on, I don't really care for Michael. Michael don't care for me. You and my wife don't really get along. But I really do. I still follow you on the Instagram and everything. And I really wanted to congratulate you on the second baby. And I think motherhood really does look good on you. And I said, well, that was really nice. She was still throwing slick digs at his wife. How's you throwing slick digs at the man's wife to him? See, you do too much. Take the y'all, child. You don't know nothing about being. No, you don't. It's called graciousness. Look it up. You don't talk shit about the man's wife to the man, but y'all don't know boundaries. Y'all don't. Y'all don't know boundaries. You could very well, when it comes to a married couple, you could very well can't stand one of the people in the couple, but out of respect for the other one, you keep it cute. But y'all know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that kind of teaching. Moving on. Then we got the girls sitting down there. It was a Scala, Wendy, and Ashley. Child, they done taught Karen about tossing salad. Karen said, I came in here, I wasn't even here an hour. Maybe they was tossing salad. They was like, they was doing what? She didn't know, the double meaning of tossing salad. And when they told her, child, Karen took off and ran. She's like, oh! She ran. I'm telling you, Karen, listen, I've talked about it before. I came up in an era where the whole tossing salad thing was completely taboo. I am not a fan. I don't want it done. I'm definitely not doing it. But, nowadays in 2021, it is really common. It's really commonplace. Just like in the 70s and the early 80s, child, black women, child, give head. Give head to what? To who? They'll fight. They will start fighting you. They will fight you. If you said that, if a male said that to a woman, they will start fighting you. But times have actually changed. Now it is so acceptable, and it is what it is. And this is the worker with that giving head thing. Child, black women would fight you back in the day about saying it, but baby, they was all hobnobbing, honey. They was hobnobbing, and I ain't gonna say all of them, but honey, people was hobnobbing, child. But they just didn't, well, you just kept that to yourself. You just don't say it. Just like people toss salad, but you didn't talk about it. Now these things, as we've moved on, and I guess we've evolved, people are, just doing, they tossing salad back, kind of tossing salad, and ain't no real big deal. Okay. I ain't doing it. And that's just the way it is. It was so back in the day, men didn't say, if men who literally did oral to women, black men would say, oh, I don't do that. They did it. They did it. And the ones that admitted it, they'd be like, he is so nasty. Child, they was doing it, honey. Lapdogging, honey. Tearing it up, honey. So it's just kind of like that. But Karen is from that era with me. She's like, honey, tossing salad is taboo. Karen ain't trying to hear it. Okay? She went running. She flew, honey. I cracked up. Said, make some room, Karen. I'm going to run right behind you, girl. Anyway, moving on. Ashley had talked to Robin and Giselle and talked them into coming. So they were on their way. They end up showing up. I said, Lord have mercy. When they came in, Robin, I told y'all Robin's like a little dude. She done took Candiace and picked her all up. Told, oh, you lighter than my son. I said, yo, if you ain't looking like an old basketball player, honey, right now, I told her that's why you Juan's best buddy, honey. My buddy. Put that goddamn woman down, honey. Anyway, old Robin. Child, but her, Giselle, Robin, got in there. They talked to Candiace, and Candiace was filling them in on what was going on. They told her, you are wrong. You are wrong. And, even now that you know about her mother and that, Candiace was sitting there trying to make it be something else. Well, it's equal to, no, Candiace, it's not. You are like way down here. The argument's up here, you way down here, girl, you wrong. And they were just telling her, so she's like, okay, whatever. And they're like, girl, you can't be talking about her mother. Like, that's a bit much. And they said no, she was talking to your mother. She wasn't talking about your mother. They're not the same. Then we find out, I said, oh, Wendy, you so shady. Robin and Giselle are in the same room together. Remember, Giselle's foot is messed up. They're like downstairs, child, ain't no bathroom. That room doesn't have a bathroom. And then we found out Robin is actually on her cycle, so it definitely is it's an issue. for them not to have the room. Robin was over there looking for a hotel or whatever close. I said, I know that's right. Wendy was like, oh, well, well, okay, well, whatever. I said, oh, she's so shady, honey. Shady. And Ashley said, you could use my room instead of, I would leave and go to the hotel too. I really would. But anyway, she got y'all good. Why should you expect anything more than that? Anyway, moving on. Then they get her again. We in the van on the way going to dinner. Giselle, Karen, and Ashley is back there talking. Not even talk to the girl about teabag. And I said, Lord have mercy. Child, they just messing Karen up. Karen's like, well, what is teabag, honey? And they get to explain it to her. She was like, no, honey. The only bags I'm steeping in tea, honey, is like this. She was doing her confessional. I was screaming, laughing. G done fell out drunk sleep. I didn't think he was going to make it to the dinner. But he pulled it together, and they on the way to dinner. He over there, this drunk ass that went over there, he sleep, snoring and shit. Just embarrassing. It was just embarrassing. I was like, oh, you drunken bastard. He really is. He's horrible. And then they woke him up when they get close to the place, child. And they told GVO. And he's like, GOV. They said, what's the initials for the weekend, G? He said, GOV. Good old vagina. I said, Lord have mercy. A mess. Then he busts out and he says, LBTBH. Good. What did he say? Long dick to be had. I said, oh my God. He's just so over the top. And Candiace is like, I like that. I said, bet you do. You ain't slick, honey. I see you, Miss Candiace, honey. Sit down. Anyway, they get there. They give them a table together. Then there's a table with 4 guys over there. And, old hot ass Ashley's like, yeah, girl. They single over there, girl. Giselle, you're single. Table of white guys. She want to hook her up. They flirting back and forth for carrying on. The guys end up sending all the girls at the table drinks. Now, that was kind of weird because it was like, first of all, do you really think that if it's not reality TV that a table of white guys could send a table of couples, all their women, drinks, and there be no issues? Only on Potomac, honey. Only on reality TV. Because in real life, those drinks would have went back. Those drinks would have went back, and there would have been husbands sitting at the table like, I dare you to sip it. I dare you to sip it. So, only on reality TV. And then we found out after they bought the drinks, there was a table of ladies on the other side. Those were their wives. I said, oh my goodness. Karen ended up going over to the table. Well, Wendy was like, are you kidding me? Told the waitress, come back, honey. Give them whatever they want. Karen eased on over to the table with the guys and told them, at this point, to fix this, y'all going to need to be buying some Louis Vuitton bags and things of that nature. She said, I'm getting ready to get married again and celebrate my 25th anniversary, my silver anniversary. And you need to fix this. But Louis Vuitton, Gucci, that kind of thing, that'll fix this because y'all done screwed up. So I laughed real good at that. But she's telling the truth. They was out of order. Anyway, then after that, Ashley cranks it up. Ashley's doing her job. Ashley knows how to get it going on, honey. She turned up on Chris and Candiace. She was just as disrespectful. I'm like, first of all, you like disrespecting them as a couple. First of all, you're arguing with the both of them. And the women don't even argue with the men. They don't even do that. You're basically arguing with, not really so much arguing, but you're discussing the issues between Chris and Michael with Chris. And I thought Ashley was a bit aggressive because he couldn't match her energy. He match her energy, it'd be You're not supposed to talk to the women like that. She really didn't have no business talking to him at all. You don't talk to him about issues that he has with Michael and his punk ass. You let him deal with Michael, but see, you keeps him away from Michael because you know that their relationship is going to a point that if he ever is close enough to Michael, Chris is going to beat Michael's ass. And you know it. Isn't that right, Ashley? I want to see it. But that is right. If there's ever this much air and that much opportunity, Chris gonna whoop Michael's ass. I'm here for it. Anyway, then we got Candiace. Candiace just start carrying at that point. She started going at Ashley, and that's when she started. It's like all this vitriol about what happened last year. She roundhouse kicked Mia. I was like, wait a minute, Mia ain't said that. Mia has said, look, I'm done with it. You know, when Karen had her talk with her, Mia's like, I'm done. Act like a woman. Like I got some sense about myself. I'm gonna try to, you know, I got this fool over here drunk and embarrassed me. I'm gonna try to keep this together and act like the woman that I am. You know, even when Candiace turned around there and roundhouse kicked her because she said something about because Candiace told. It sounded so raggedy too. It sounds so raunchy. She told Ashley to suck her. I said, girl, what? And Ashley said, you don't have one. You may have an enlarged clit, but you don't have no dick. I said, oh my. And she turned around. She said, enlarged clit? No, that's your friend down there. I said, no, Mia didn't even have nothing to do with it. Then she starts telling Mia, girl, you're sitting next to your benefactor. Now you disrespected Mia and G. You doing too much, Candiace. You cannot disrespect G while you fighting with Mia. Like, that's just not right. It's not right. It really isn't. You shouldn't do that. But this is where my issue with Candiace comes from. First, I think Candiace is wrong for how you let it escalate. You've escalated like you're not somewhere having a nice dinner. You're like really acting like a wild dog, really. As much as we went through all this stuff with you and Monique, guess what? You acting just like her. You're acting just like her. You are being very aggressive. You're being overly hurtful and mean. Overly. Reading is one thing. You're being hateful and mean. You are. I'm just being honest. You're being hateful and mean. Like it's you want to fight. This stuff you're saying, you should be ready to throw your hands up with the stuff that you're saying. Like seriously. Calling people a hoe and all of this kind of carrying on. You call Ashley a bitch. And, I mean, you just weren't, girl. You should be ready to throw hands with the way that you're talking. And then this is my thing. When Chris says, okay, let's get up. Let's go take a walk. And now you're pulling away from him. You're doing all of it. Do you know how bad that looks? See, these are the rules that you need to learn. Now, it's not always that you have to literally, when your husband speaks, you must. But no, when there is an altercation, such as this one, where it's involving multiple people, males and females, your husband was trying to diffuse the situation, and he says, let's take a walk. And then you basically start fighting him. Who does that? When your man, you ain't ready for this type of teaching. Come here. Come in close, honey. When your man tells you, and he was real smooth with it. He's real smooth with it. Okay, Candiace. He let you do all of it. He didn't agree with how you were acting at all. And he let you really get it off. And then he told you, okay, I heard enough, basically. He didn't embarrass you or anything like that. He didn't talk down to you, nothing. He says, come on, let's get up and let's go. And you started this, I'm not, you're hollering at him. Do you know how foolish you looked? You look unhinged. You look half-raised. You look as though you're not even worthy of the relationship that you're in. That's how you look. Seriously. It looked bad. You didn't prove yourself to be some tough chick. You proved yourself to be rancid, ratchet, and trifling. And hate to say it, but ghetto as hell. You really did. And I'm telling you, the whole Chris's whole thing of shutting you down and telling you to come on and let's go take a walk and all that. I found it very sexy personally, girl. You better watch out, Miss Candiace. You better watch out. You better lay low. Girl, you clowning. But those things, those little things like that, those little nuances of your man, those are things that should make you like Chris even more. Because that's why Chris is groovy, girl. But you over there, you want to argue with him. Like, you yelling at him and carrying on. And now you done embarrassed him. I was embarrassed for him with the way you were acting. It was terrible. And then he got fed up. Now they chasing after him. He done left the table. Escala's husband went and got Chris and calmed him down, brought him on back. In the midst of all that, you ain't went yet. He done brought him all the way back to the restaurant, talking to him in the hall, calming him down, and then here you come. Then there you was, honey. I said, yeah, you an idiot. You gonna mess around and lose your man with the bull crap. It's terrible. Everything about what happened last year. We're gonna let that mess go. Let that mess go. Talking smack to G. And G ain't taking you seriously. He laughing at you with his drunk ass. That was just a bad look for me. You need to learn how to conduct yourself as pertains to you and your husband and when you all are out. Because you keep embarrassing him. And I don't know why you think you can keep doing that. Eventually he's going to grow tired of you. And you're going to be at these dinners by yourself, getting your ass whooped with no help. Just keep it up. Remember, I told you so, honey. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all next episode.